So we have looked at what dependency injection is as a special case of the inversion of control principle, and now we will consider this principle itself. Trip to Hogwarts, freshman set and the ticket. It take it from this file, ticket and the trip to Hogwarts, bin and some service with this trip to Hogwarts. This will be a service for sending a student to school. Let's rename it Shift and the F6 sending service. Okay, let's add this service to the context by using component annotation. This is stereotype annotation from package org.springframework.stereotype. Let's specify this package in project configuration. Component scan base package com aslan.developer module 1 Spring Core lesson 13. Okay, and let's inject the dependencies in this service by using annotation auto-wired for trip to Hogwarts. Trip to Hogwarts is existing configuration. Yes, trip to Hogwarts. We cannot mark a string class with a stereotypical annotation, so we will create a bin for it in our bin configuration. By default, Harry Potter. String method return type, and here just auto-wired this student name. Okay, and let's get this service from context and invoke its method to trip. Sending service class. And run our program. And we can see the result: Harry Potter went to school. That's right. Let's rename this method Shift F6 send student. Okay. Send student. Program works well. Up to this point, we have only used dependency injection. To demonstrate inversion of control, let's create a class to send a student to Hogwarts and call this method sendStudent from that class. Sending student by train to Hogwarts Express. Let's place this class in context with component annotation. Okay. This class must have a function sendStudent, and just print the message. Student sent to school by train. By using this component stereotype annotation, this class in context, and we can inject it to our service by using auto-wired annotation. Val, this is finally field, val not var, and sending student class by train, and just invoke this method train send student, and let's run our program. Student sent to school by train. Okay, and let's send student name to this method. Run it again. Okay, Harry Potter sent to school by train. But Harry Potter can go to school in a flying car. And to change by train to by car, we needed to change the class entire class. At the moment we are strictly tied to this class sending student by train. Let's move out this behavior into a separate interface. Sendable student with method sendStudent without implementation. And we can just create classes sending student by train, sending student by car, and etc., which will implement this interface. This method will take a student name string and print it. And let's create other class that will implement this interface too. By car. Implement sendable. Which will take a student name and just print the next message. But by car. And here in this our service, we can specify only interface without a concrete implementation of this interface. Only sendable. And from this sendable, invoke method sendStudent. So we decoupled our service from a specific class of sending student, and made our application more flexible. But if we run our program, we can get an exception. By train. Oh, I forgot to put this class to the context component. Without component annotation or without being in project configuration, Spring doesn't see this class. And if we run it again, we get a mistake. Warning, exception, let's read it. Expected single match and bin, but found two. Sending student by car and sending student by train in this service. We specified the interface as sendable, but Spring doesn't know which class to insert out of the two. Both implement this interface by car and by train. So for specifying it, we can use a qualifier for naming our classes. Qualifier, and let's give it name send by car, send student by train. This is train class, and for class by car we use a qualifier and its name send by car. And here inside our sending service class, after wired annotation, we can specify qualifier. Which exactly implementation we will use? We will use by train. Send by train, this name. Okay, and run our program again. We get the correct message. Harry Potter sent to school by train. So let's change by train from by car by this qualifier. Sent by car, and run it again, and we can see the message Harry Potter sent to school by flying car. Okay, that's right. Inversion of control means that we have given Spring complete control over the implementation of this dependency sendable by using annotation after wired and the qualifier if there are a lot of classes which implement this interface. Good job, and see you in the next lesson.